Right, hi everyone, and thanks very much for coming back to Warren's Team Talk. I'm very happy that you've decided to join me, and I hope you're having a great day and that you're fine and healthy and everything's great with you. What have I got for you this today? I'm hearing you say. Well, today I'm going to review last night's Premier League clash between Arsenal and Crystal Palace, played at the Emirates Stadium. And as you probably all know by now, I'm a massive Arsenal fan. But before we get into all of that, please can I ask you to make sure that you put a like on my video and also that you subscribe to my channel, and also that you share the video around with any friends or family or anything like that. Well, as many people as you possibly can, really. That would be absolutely fantastic because it will really help me to develop my channel. So, yeah, if you can do that for me, that would be absolutely fantastic. And also, if you're new to my channel, to Warren's Team Talk, I just want to give you a big warm welcome, and I hope that you enjoy my video. So anyway, here we go. We've already got someone come in, and it's James. Hi again there, James. How you doing, mate? Nice to see you. And he's saying hello to me, so that's really nice. Really good guy, James. He's always here every single time I do a stream. I'm really grateful to him for all the support he gives me. Top guy, and he's a massive Everton fan as well. But you probably worked that out by the fact he's got an Everton crest and his icon for his thingy. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So yeah, Arsenal played Crystal Palace last night at the Emirates Stadium, and in my opinion, it was yet another pitiful performance from Arsenal. I have to say, the only thing being that as well, the only saving grace for Arsenal is they actually didn't manage to lose the game, because they were behind until like the last minute of stoppage time, and then they managed to force an equaliser thanks to Mr. Lacazette, who came off the bench, and he saved Arsenal's bacon, to be quite frank. So, yeah, otherwise, yet again, another pitiful performance. So, anyway, so let's get on with it. So, this was the Arsenal lineup. Mikel Arteta went to a similar lineup as he did at Burnley a few weeks ago when they when they won 1-0 against Burnley. They had Ramsdale in goal, and then a back four of Tomiyasu, Ben White, Gabriel, and Kieran Tierney. And then just in front of the back four, they had Thomas Partey in midfield, some anchor man in midfield, I guess you'd call it. And then you had Nicolas Pepe on the right-hand side of the midfield, Smith Rowe and Martin Odegaard in the centre two positions of the midfield. And then on the left you had Bukayo Saka, and then up front he went with Aubameyang. And then on the substitutes bench, yeah. On the substitutes bench, he had Bernd Leno, Lacazette, Maitland-Niles, Rob Holding, Cedric Suarez, Varela Tavares, Barella Tavares, Sambi Lokonga, El Neni, and Martinelli. Now, Arsenal made substitutions during the game. One at half time, which was Saka, who came on after he suffered quite a nasty looking injury. And he got replaced by he got replaced by Sambi Lakonga. And then on the 67th minute, Martin Odegaard got replaced by Alex Lacazette. And then in the 81st minute, Gabriel Martinelli replaced Thomas Partey in the midfield. So that was the substitutions. And then Palace, they went for a 4-2-3-1 with Guaita in goal, Ward, Anderson, Guaya and Mitchell in the defence, Mihailovic and MacArthur in midfield, along with Jordan Ayew, Gallagher and Edouard, and then Benteke up front in the lone striking role. And Mihailovic got replaced in the 67th minute by Kayate from the substitute bench. And then in the 71st minute, Jordan Ayew got replaced by Olise. And then finally, in the 82nd minute, Edouard got replaced by Tompkins. So, yeah, that was all the lineups and substitutions. Now, at the end of the game, at the end of the first half, Crystal Palace were heavily on top. And I'm going to come talk about this in a little while. They had 57% possession, and but Arsenal were leading 1-0 at that stage through a goal from Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang when Pepe curled in a shot which from the right-hand side, which the goalkeeper managed to parry out, and then Aubameyang pounced on the rebound to prod the ball home. And then in that first half, Arsenal had a total of 5 shots, Palace had a total of 4 shots, and both of them had 3 shots on target. Yeah, and Arsenal had 2 corners and Palace had 3 corners. And then finally, at the end of the game, Arsenal had 54% possession as opposed to Crystal Palace's 46%. And the game ended in a 2-2 draw. Arsenal ended up having had 17 shots on goal as opposed to Palace's 9. And Arsenal had 6 shots on target and Palace had 6 as well. And Arsenal had 6 corners and Palace had 4. But for me, those possession statistics sort of tend to mask what really happened, because to me that was mainly in part because of the fact that Arsenal were pressing so hard to get an equaliser, because after Palace went 2-1 up, Palace tended to sort of try to shut up shop and contain Arsenal and try to they played with at some stages 8-9 players behind the ball after they scored, but they looked very comfortable, I have to say, with the way they were playing. So, yeah, let's get through some of these chats. There's quite a few of them in here. And thanks for all the chats, guys. I really, really do appreciate it. James says, I was more concerned with the way your midfield was set up. We really need to sort that midfield out before Friday's game against Villa. Yeah, spot on, mate, because as I said in the preview video I did yesterday, that midfield, it just looked really weak and it looked like that we'd get overrun, and that's exactly what happened. The midfield got overrun. There was too many weak players in there, and again, Thomas Partey was being asked to do try and contain a midfield of like 3-4 players, and it's just not possible. Not even the best defensive midfielder in the world would be able to do that, and he's not a defensive midfielder. So yeah, it was it was completely predictable that would happen, because it happened at Brighton, and we struggled there, and we struggled again last night, and a game at home as well. Although I thought we played a little bit better than we did at Brighton, but it wasn't much. And we need to sort out the midfield. You're absolutely right, because we can't keep surrendering possession the way that we are in games. It's just absolutely ridiculous. And then the old school Gunners here saying, "Hi Warren, hello mate, how are you? Are you reviewing the brutal performance from yesterday?" Yes, mate, I am, and you're right, it was brutal. We just got completely outplayed in midfield yet again. And I can't understand why it is that Mikel Arteta thinks it's okay for us to keep surrendering possession like that. It's just ridiculous. Old school Gunner says, "Brave man." Yeah, I think I must be. Either that or I must want my head read, that's for sure. And then James Dunlop says, "Old school Gunner, big up." Yeah, absolutely. Big up the old school Gunner. And old school Gunner says, "Hi James, respect bro." And then old school Gunner says, "Same crap game yesterday. Yeah, it was terrible, man. Absolutely awful. And it's not going to change until the club realise that this man is not up to the job and he gets replaced." Warren looks so serious, scary. Man, I'm really pissed off. I have to say, I'm really, really wound up. James Dunlop says the first goal Palace scored, Partey's reaction was way too slow. He can't play on his own in a deeper role. He can't. They were running amok in our midfield, and the problem is the other players in that midfield haven't got a defensive mindset. So they're not going to come back and help out when we're under attack. They're not, because they haven't got that mindset. All of them. Saka, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Pepe. They're not players who are going to track back and tackle. You need other players that have got either a mixed sort of outlook, or you need other defensive-minded players. And the thing is, Thomas Partey isn't a defensive midfield player. He isn't. He's more of a he's not a complete box-to-box midfielder, but he certainly isn't a defensive midfield player. He's never played that role, and it's a specialist role. You need a specialist defensive midfield player. A specialist CDM, not someone who doesn't normally play that role. It's just ridiculous. And to me, it just shows how tactically inept Mikel Arteta is. James Dunlop says, "Would you start Lacazette on Friday and keep him as a super sub?" No, mate, I'd be tempted to start him, and I'd play him up front with Aubameyang. The reason being because I was really impressed with him last night when he came on, because of his aggression and hunger. He looked really, really fired up. It might be that he's trying to put himself in the shop window for clubs who might be thinking about trying to sign him, because if I saw that performance last night and I was a buying club, I'd be taking a long, serious, hard look at him, because I was impressed with his attitude and the way he conducted himself, because he looks hungry, man, and he looks fresh and ready to go. Maybe he's trying to put himself in the shop window, because that's what I would be doing, that's for sure. So yeah, those were the match stats for the game. Old school Gunner says, "I'm fantastic. It's roasting hot over here." Oh, you poor fella, man. I feel sorry for you. I really do. So yeah, that's I just want to remind everyone to thank everyone for watching. please remember to hit the like button, and please subscribe to my channel, and please make sure you pass their content around. If you do that for me, that would be fantastic. And then so the game ended in a 2-2 draw, as I said. Aubameyang scored the first goal after 8 minutes when he prodded the ball home after a curled shot from Pepe. He parried the ball out, and he just Aubameyang latched on to the loose ball and to make it 1-0 to the Arsenal. And then Benteke equalised 5 minutes into the second half, and then Edouard scored in the 73rd minute. And he ran straight at the Arsenal defence, and they just kept backing off. And then he unleashed a venomous shot that hit the underside of the crossbar and went into the goal. And then Lacazette scored an equaliser in the last minute of added time to make the score 2-2. So yeah, it was like I say, a very poor performance because, like I said, Arsenal surrendered possession alarmingly, and Palace dominated possession for large periods of the game, in my opinion. Arsenal started the game fairly brightly, but then they just, after they went 1-0 up, they sort of went back into the shell and were trying to sort of defend their 1-0 lead, which was never going to work. So James Dunlop says, Lacazette looked sharp when he came on. Is he out of contract in the summer? Yeah, he is. His contract ends in the summer, so he could leave on a free then, and I think that's what he's looking for. So yeah, and I rate the player, I do, and when he's on his game, I think he's quality because of the work rate he puts in. I like strikers who work hard, and I like any player that works hard. I think it's really important, and I think he leads the line well, and he's a good player to have up front, and I think he's got a good eye for goal as well. And James Dunlop says Benteke scoring might do his confidence a world of good. Palace did pretty well without Zaha. Yeah, they did. I don't know what the story is with Zaha. I don't know whether it was a tactical decision not to play him, or whether he's injured, or what's going on. But yeah, he did. He did really well. But mind you, he always does well against Arsenal, Benteke. Then David Cole says, hotter than my ex. Oh my God. I wouldn't let your current partner see that, mate, if I were you. But anyway, so let's move on because there's more stuff I want to say about this match. Yeah, so after the game last night, this was the league table. Arsenal was sat in 12th. They played 8. They've won 3, drawn 2, and lost 3. They've scored 7 and conceded 12 and got a -5 goal difference and 11 points, and now 8 points behind the leaders Chelsea. Now, this is quite interesting for me because I keep hearing all this rubbish about how Mikel Arteta has fixed Arsenal's defence. But if we look at this, right, there's only... How many? There's only... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sides who've conceded more goals than Arsenal in the league, and in the league out of 20 sides. So that's like a quarter of the sides have conceded more than Arsenal. So he's hardly fixed the defence, has he? And we've only scored 7, and there's only 1, 2, 3. Sorry, there's only 1, 2. 3 sides who've conceded. Have scored more than Arsenal. Arsenal. There's only 3 teams who've scored fewer than Arsenal, which are Southampton, who are 3 places below us, and then Burnley and Norwich. Burnley and Norwich are both in the relegation zone. So, Old School Gunner is saying, come on, you Gunners. Yeah, absolutely. Something needs to come on, that's for sure. And James Dunlop is saying Palace have become the draw specialist. And as for Arsenal, the lack of goals is a worry. It is a worry. And we can't keep conceding possession like that. And that stems from the midfield not being strong enough and not them just surrendering possession the way they are. Jamie Hill says, I'm back. Welcome back, Jamie. Nice to see you. And when Pepe starts, you know you're in trouble. Yeah, you say that, mate, but he contributes more in goals and chances than Odegaard, Smith Rowe, and Saka. So yeah, I can understand what you're saying, but I think to leave him out of the team would be a big mistake, because he's more of a threat than any of those players I've just mentioned. Because I don't think that Saka has scored since January, to be frank. And Jamie Hill says he's a big fan of Partey. Yeah, he's quality, mate, but unfortunately, like all the other players in our team, he's getting murdered by Mikel Arteta. Old School Gunner says, hi, Jamie. So that league table tells its own story, really, I think. And then, so I just wanted to show you this. So I've been keeping a record of Mikel Arteta's performance as Arsenal manager since he's been in post. And you'll see that last year he had a 47.37 win percentage. This year he's got a 37.5% win percentage. And overall, since he's been in charge, across all competitions, he's got a 50.53 win percentage. So you can quite clearly see that it's getting worse. His performance as manager isn't improving. It's getting steadily worse. So that suggests that we're going to struggle even to get in the top 8 this year. So, yeah, it's a bit of a worry, really. And then Old School Gunner says, play my Old School Gunner playlist, lads. Push up my watch hours. They're playing, mate, in the background. I've got them running. So don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that, mate. And Jamie Hill says, I'm so shocked Brentford are doing good. Yeah, they are doing well. I mean, they've got a decent manager who knows what he's doing. So that's always helpful. Old School Gunner says, I'm pushing for monetization. Don't worry, man, you'll get it soon enough. As long as we all help you out and whatnot, you'll get it. Don't worry, it's going to happen. I'm confident of that. It won't be long now. And Old School Gunner says, let it play all night long. I'm doing my best, buddy. And a couple of laughing emojis there from the Old School Gunner. James Dunlop says, you need to show Terry them statistics, Warren, but I know he mentioned the likes of Mourinho and several other managers too. Yeah, I know he would, and I've sent him those statistics before. And, I remember once I sent him this really long email. I called it the case against Mikel Arteta, and I put this huge case against Mikel Arteta and threw all these stats in. I don't even know if he read it because he never mentioned it. But yeah, he would just. That's the thing with Terry. If he knows that he can't beat you on an argument, he will just slyly change the topic of the conversation. He won't like try to convince you. He will just slightly change the subject because that's what he's like. He's unbelievable. And Old School Gunner says, thanks for it, mate. It's an absolute pleasure. I'd do it with all my heart, man. You're a top man and you're a good friend, and anything. I'll do anything to help anyone. You know that. And spoken word, Jamie Hill says, who believes in Arteta? Certainly not me, mate. I can't stand the fella. And people say to me, you've got an agenda against Arteta. You can't stand him. Yeah, I don't. You're absolutely right. I can't stand him. He's destroying our club. Why wouldn't I dislike him? It's madness. Old School Gunner says, in Old School Gunner we trust. Yeah, absolutely, my bro. And Old School Gunner says, Arteta out all day long, mate. Well said. And spoken word, Jamie Hill says, I'm 50-50. Don't worry, mate. We'll make sure that you get off that fence and you get that splinters out your ass and they stop causing you all that pain. Don't worry, fella. We'll convince you. Jamie Dunlop says, not being funny, but Arteta's record as a manager in the Premier League is poor. If he had that record at the other big teams, he'd be out the door. Yeah, he would. And that's why I can't understand why he's still in a job at Arsenal. I mean, when he and Ancelotti were like in the running for jobs, and there were vacancies at Arsenal and at Everton, I honestly thought that we were going to get Ancelotti and that you would get Arteta. But even that, I was thinking, surely Everton ain't could be stupid enough to appoint him. He's got no experience. And then, lo and behold, we bloody appoint him. And what the thing that's interesting for me is that when a big job becomes available, how many times do you hear, because we're in a mess at the moment, let's get it right. We're not challenging for titles and stuff like that. We're at best a mid-table club, right? So my question is, if he's that good a manager, why is it when a big job becomes available, like this job at Newcastle, how many times do you hear Mikel Arteta's being named, being thrown in the ring as a possible candidate to take the job on? It just doesn't happen, does it? And that tells me that everyone really deep down knows that he's a crap manager. And then Jamie Hill says, I'm still curious what he can do. Well, he's been here nearly 2 years, mate. He ain't done anything yet, and I don't think he's going to do anything. I really don't. I just don't. He could be here till bloody Armageddon comes, and he wouldn't do anything. James Dunlop says, Arteta to us would have been the better move for him to prove himself as a manager. Yeah, but he should have. James, I'm not being funny, but you're too big a club for him, right? He should have gone somewhere like Accrington Stanley or Tranmere Rovers and managed there first. Now, no disrespect to those two clubs, but when you're starting out as a manager, that's the sort of club that you need to go to. Not me like throwing your hat in the ring for like top draw clubs like Everton and Arsenal. But mind you, having said that, it didn't stop me applying for the Notts Forest job years ago, even though they did turn me down. I can see what you mean, says Jamie Hill. Yeah, mate. You know it makes sense, Jamie. You know it makes sense. But, I just don't think he's the man. And I really want to see because I'm convinced that most of the problems that Arsenal have got are being caused by Mikel Arteta. That squad of players we've got, to me, is not a mid-table club. It isn't. We should be challenging for like 5th, 6th position easily, and like with a push, we should be going for top 4. We should. And I would like to see what like someone like Antonio Conte would be able to do with that squad of players. Or the one that I really want is the guy at Atletico Madrid, Diego Simeone, because I'm telling you, he'd whip these boys into shape. He really would. And we'd be challenging for sure. And then James Dunlop says, #Warren in, let's make it happen at Arsenal. Laugh out loud. Mate, I'd absolutely love it. I really would. And I'd take you lot with me. I'd get you all jobs. And spoken word Jamie Hill says top 6. Yeah, I think we'd be challenged for more than that, mate, as well. Spoken word Poetry Jamie Hill says, yeah. Yeah, thanks, guys. I would love it. So, right, okay, guys, that's my review of the Arsenal Palace game. Done and dusted, I think, more or less. So, thanks very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and please make sure you share my content around with as many different people as you possibly can. I'd really, really appreciate that. And Jamie says, Warren in. Yeah, man, I'm up for it. If they want to take me on, I'll definitely do it. James Dunlop says, cheers, Warren. Take care, mate. Big up Jamie and Old School Gunners. See you all soon. And bonjour. See you soon, says Jamie. Thank you very much, guys. Thanks to Jamie Hill, James Dunlop, to the Old School Gunner, and also to that David guy who was in the chat earlier as well. What's his name? David Cole. Yeah, big up to him. Never seen you in my chat before, so I hope you enjoyed it. I just want to give a shout out to some other YouTube channels, as I always do. It's the Old School Gunner. Again, another Arsenal fan who does excellent Arsenal content, and he uploads on a daily basis. We've got the 3 Pointers TV YouTube channel. Again, it's like that one is 3 guys who are all good mates, and they do some excellent Arsenal content. And they're really, really funny guys and really, really good guys, and I love their videos. And then there's Arsenal Alex, another one who does excellent Arsenal content, another passionate Arsenal supporter. He does some brilliant Arsenal content, and again, I love his work. I think it's superb. And then last but not least, we've got the Claude and the Bansters channel, the one and the only Claude and the Bansters. And the 2 presenters, Terry and Diesel, they when they're on stream together, it always ends up in a massive tear up, and it's absolutely hilarious. It really is. And make sure that you go and check out all these channels that I've just mentioned. All the links to their channels are in the description of this video. So go and check them out. Give them a subscribe, and make sure you put a like on their videos and share the content around. That would be fantastic. So anyway, guys, hope you have a great rest of your days, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. So thanks very much for tuning in, everyone. And for those who are on playback, watching this on playback, please make sure that you put in the comment section what you thought about the game and what you thought about my insights into the match, whether you agree with me or disagree with me. I don't mind. I just want to hear what your opinions are. So thanks very much for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon. So Take care. Thanks for watching, everyone. And like I say, I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye for now.